For a long time, I've been saying that if the stuff that the alternative community talks about was on the nightly news on big TV, that the world would change in 3 months, and it's not happening. So I guess I'm gonna have to do it. And thank you all very much for not supporting David Icke's TV station that was supposed to run this stuff 24 hours a day. This is about coal going through British Columbia. We've managed to stop a natural gas electrical plant going in here a few years back with a referendum. And right now we're fighting putting the oil pipeline in from the tar sands to the coast, to our pristine coast, to sell the dirtiest oil in the planet. Oil that Europe won't buy because it's too dirty, and oil that Obama turned down to the Chinese, who have the worst record for pollution going, but the bribes have been paid. So it's a couple of little blurbs from alternative media sources. There's a petition being started. Today is another reminder that if we're going to fix our broken democracy in British Columbia, we're going to have to do it ourselves. Premier Clark, who is in her second unelected term as Premier, trying to pull that off, herself said she thinks it's wrong for climate change responsibility to end at our borders, and that we should help wean China off dirty energy sources like coal. But her government wouldn't lift a finger to ensure proper assessment of the Fraser-Surrey docks slash Texada Island coal transshipment project, and today it was approved by Port Metro Vancouver despite overwhelming opposition. The provincial government has the authority to protect the health of British Columbians, but has so far turned a blind eye to known health impacts in order to allow the dying coal industry to use BC to fast-track exports of U.S. thermal coal, the dirtiest fossil fuel on the planet and the leading cause of global warming. That's not good enough when it comes to the health of our communities and the planet. So we're holding the Premier to account. 27,000 members of your community have already signed the Beyond Coal petition calling on local, provincial, and federal decision makers to prevent further expansion of U.S. thermal coal exports in BC. It's not even our coal. It's just coming through here. There is a very big, huge coal dock here where the railway goes right out into deep water, and they can go right from rail to deep sea vessels. We need your support more than ever as we take things to the next level. Please join your neighbors by signing today. So how did we find ourselves in this mess? It all leads back to Port Metro Vancouver, the federal authority run by unelected bureaucrats and a board of Ottawa-appointed industry insiders who make closed-door decisions about local port development with little or no public input. On the Fraser-Surrey Docks coal project, Port Metro Vancouver refused to hold public hearings in affected communities, oversaw a totally inadequate assessment of environmental effects, and ignored our chief medical officer's request for an independent health impact assessment. Now here's where it gets really scary. In addition to coal terminals, Port Metro Vancouver is also wholly responsible for approving Kinder Morgan's marine terminal expansion proposal, as it falls completely outside the National Energy Board's hearing scope. I think Kinder Morgan is the pipeline we're trying to stop. The problem we face right now is bigger than tankers and pipelines, and it's bigger than thermal coal exports. When a port authority that's run like a corporation is calling the shots, while our health and environment hang in the balance, everyday citizens must stand up. Well, they're asking people to sign the Beyond Coal petition as we continue building the most powerful democratic network this province has ever seen. The Fraser Valley Docks coal export project faces one final hurdle, an air quality permit from Metro Vancouver, a regional government that's actually responsive and accountable to residents. Leading up to the November municipal election, Dogwood Initiative will work within our network and with other organizations to ensure elected candidates are champions for local decision-making power over fossil fuel export projects. It's time to end United States thermal coal's free ride through BC communities. Sign the petition now as we gear up for our biggest fight yet on the municipal front. P.S. We are confident local officials will stand up for the health of our communities and the global climate, even if the Premier won't. We're doing pretty well here in BC. We also stopped, they changed the way they were taxing us and everything got more expensive, and one of our ex-premiers came forward and led a referendum, and we defeated that. So by the time this video is over, I'll remember the third thing we've done here. People in British Columbia have actually been able to fight back successfully against the government, so you too can do this anywhere in the world. And that is the difference for the early 21st century, that there's been enough worldwide communication that people are not going to take this crap anymore because they're finding out about it, and we don't have to. It's just, it was all easy to hide before. But no more. For example, we have this huge project, the tar sands, and it's touted as being environmentally responsible and jobs for Canadians. Well, there's Chinese workers up there working it. It's owned by Esso and Exxon. And the guys that work it are wearing hot papa suits, and they're out there in fields with rakes raking this stuff through harsh chemicals to get the oil out of it, and it's just a horrific environmental disaster. The water that's leaking out of there is giving all the Indians cancer, but they say they show you pictures of beautiful green trees, and they're saying we took the oil out and then we put the dirt back and we grew all the trees, and it's like we were never there. I don't think it's true. There's another little bit here. In March 2, 2014, the provincial government approved a permit that allows Texada Quarries to expand its coal operations by almost 20-fold. If Port Metro Vancouver approves its partner project at Fraser Surrey Docks, this could make Texada Island the final transfer point for up to 8 million tons of thermal coal mined in the U.S. and bound for coal-burning power plants in China and other Asian countries. It's hard to believe, but the BC government approved the permit without notifying local First Nations, the regional government, or anyone else of the decision until the news leaked over a month later. When it comes to coal export expansion, both the provincial government and Port Metro Vancouver have a habit of making closed-door decisions and ignoring public concerns. Since 2008, the port and province have allowed coal exports to grow by millions of tons every year without an independent body studying local and global health, environment, or climate impacts, or without a single public hearing. The Fraser Surrey Docks Texada Island project alone could have serious effects on BC communities. Imagine 2 additional trains per day up to 1 kilometer long going past schools, homes, and parks, blocking intersections and emergency responders. Imagine huge mounds of coal making daily trips on uncovered ocean barges the size of football fields navigating the Fraser River, which is our big salmon river. Imagine ships full of coal congesting the Straits of Georgia and Juan de Fuca, continuing past the Gulf Islands and our pristine coastline. And all along its journey, coal dust laced with toxic metals and diesel fumes spews into our neighborhoods. It ends up in the air we breathe, our waterways, our food crops, and our fisheries. These toxins are proven carcinogens, which is why the government's own medical health officers have called for comprehensive health impact assessments of coal export projects. 13 municipal and regional governments, hundreds of faith leaders, businesses, doctors, health experts, community groups, and thousands of local residents have amplified the medical officers' call for a comprehensive health impact assessment and meaningful public participation. But so far, top decision makers in government won't listen. Port Metro Vancouver has responded with inadequate studies, while British Columbia's Ministers of Health and Environment, Terry Lake and Mary Polak, have refused to use their authority to require comprehensive assessments. Premier Christy Clark's claims proposed BC liquefied natural gas projects she supports will be doing the world a favor by weaning China and Japan off coal. Yet her government stands idly by while coal exports through BC dramatically increase and industry pushes for new proposals. British Columbians have a stronger, healthier, more sustainable vision for the future of our communities. We deserve the facts before our government considers new coal export projects. We deserve a say over the decisions that affect our lives because this is a democratic province. We elect our officials and we turf them out. We can stop this massive increase and make the port accountable to local concerns, but we need your help. We can get started by adding your name to this petition. The more people who sign, the more power our network has to hold politicians accountable. Together we can take back decision-making power and protect public health. Together we can move BC beyond coal. And this will be another large political effort here by the people of British Columbia to stop this part of Canada being used as a third world country for resources by the United States of America and others. All this is done behind closed doors, and we have our beautiful middle-class world here with our TV shows and our leased cars, and all the kids have all those thumb games going, but the actual land itself is being used for. The lumber is raised here. I mean, it's raised and then it's cut. That definition of raised leaves the province. The mining here is vast. The oil goes south, and we had a very large coal mine here. I think it's almost empty, but we have U.S. resources being poured through here to China. Somebody's making millions, but the province that has a few million people in it here takes precedence over a few millionaires that want to manipulate the resources. We're not getting anything out of it except the fallout from Fukushima, for example. So every day things pass under my nose here, and I initially wanted to have it like a TV station on the internet that told the real news, and I also have my spiritual videos, and I guess I'm going to have to do both for a while. There's many things are afoot, and please pass this around. This is going by email around the province, and this would be the 4th time the people of BC have stopped the government from ripping us off. So it is possible to succeed.